Good morning, everyone. I looked at the clock and I was like, ooh, it's 9 a.m. Time to get started. So here we are. Sorry about the ambulance noise outside. That's a frequent thing here in Bangkok, Thailand. Um, Good. The notification went out on YouTube. Got the email for that. I want to read you and start with the description for today's video. Obviously, this is going to be about the real cost of living here in Thailand. And this description I'm going to read to you is kind of going to explain why I think that the cost of living can be applied to anyone. And with the right formula, you can figure out your own cost of living and it will be a tremendous success. So, in this video, we discuss the real cost of living in Thailand for expats that retire, live, and or work here. I will include the price of everything, including all the fun stuff you like to do. An example of this would be Thailand nightlife and entertainment expenses. I will also cover the cost of rent, health insurance, a car or motorbike payment, food, gym memberships, public transportation, cell phone services, internet connections, and much more. Ross is actually going to help out with the much more part. This video is a comprehensive look at the total cost of living on a monthly basis in Thailand. Ultimately, the cost of living is whatever you want it to be, and that is the most important thing I could probably say in this entire video. Your cost of living will be whatever you want it to be. However, well, I wrote the description wrong. I wrote, however, this video. I have to go back and fix that. Let's see. In addition, I will give you the latest Thailand news, foreign and domestic tourism news and updates for August 2021, as it is August the 1st here in Thailand. I know for some of you in the States, it's probably not, or it's probably still the last day of July. So we can look forward to a fun cost of living video today. I want to hear from everybody. Love to hear people tell me what their cost of living was and all of that good stuff. So thank you guys already for the thumbs up. Much appreciated. Really appreciate that. Crab Claw, thank you for your contribution. I did get and I did reply to your email after the show yesterday. Crab Claw contributed $10 more to our total yesterday, which was spectacular, by the way. Thanks again to everyone who made my weekend great. I really appreciate that, and it's going to help out the channel a lot for sure. Food courts. Food courts are one of the cheapest places. Good point, Asia Unscripted there. Food courts are one of the cheapest places to eat in Thailand if you want to go out to eat, and they often have very good food. Food at a food court usually ranges between 40 and for a single plate between 40 and maybe 250 baht. So you're talking, somebody can do the conversions for me in math. I'm just going to talk in baht because the bahts, it fluctuates so much. And speaking of baht fluctuation, we are seeing the baht continue to weaken right now, which is really good. He says Terminal 21 food court for like 35 baht. So yeah, you can get some very cheap food. To put that in perspective, that's about $1 right now. Just a little over $1. 35 baht is. So about 30 baht is $1, and you can do the conversions on that. Charles White, good evening, sir. Glad to have you back. Thank you again for yesterday. Appreciate you, brother. Bob says, good audio visual from the other side of the planet. Good. I'm glad to know my audio is working right and the visual looks good. I don't really always see it with my glasses on, but that's cool. Bob says hello to everyone and hello to you, Ty Guy Bry. Good morning. Great to see you. Lyle says you had me at food. That's fantastic, Lyle. Well, we're definitely going to talk about the food and how much it costs to live food over here. For me personally, it it can't cost less than about 12,000 baht a month, just for a single guy. So you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 400 bucks a month to eat, and that's that's really whether I'm cooking or whether I'm not cooking. That's about an average, right? So I can eat for a little bit less than that, or I can eat for a little bit more than that. Depends on how much I want it to be that, or how much I really want to spend on food. We're going to get into the nightlife and all that stuff later on in the video, so just be patient, guys. Griffin says good morning and evening to the other side of the globe. Griffin, good morning to you, and thank you again for yesterday. Appreciate you, bud. And thanks for being a channel member. If you'd like to be a channel member, you can hit the join button below and have exclusive access to content and our now growing famous line group that we are all enjoying. Ross says, should have called the stream the cost of things, not cost of living. Well, maybe I'll change the title, Ross. I can always do that after the video. Jason, good to see you, bud. He said, if you have a house already, as an example, in have a house as an example is 2,000 Australian dollars enough to live reasonably a month? I would think reasonably, depending again upon how much you want to spend elsewhere. Yeah, 2,000 Australian would be enough. I don't know what that converts to American, but it's got to be close to 17 or 1,800. No. Yeah, 17 or 1,800 US dollars, roughly. Got to be somewhere in that ballpark. So yeah, you could live. I would live in a cheap place. For example, a place like this on the outskirts of Bangkok is going to cost you about 300 US dollars a month, or 9,000 baht, roughly. You can live cheaper in Bangkok for their places around here, 6,500 baht a month, 5,000 baht a month, that are reasonable places to live in. But if you want to live in a secure, a little bit more modern apartment, then probably you want to spend a little bit more money. I needed a sugar rush this morning, guys, after my green juice. Just wanted to let you know. That's why I'm drinking Coca-Cola. Robert Ann, thank you for dropping the PayPal and Cash App link. It will be there again. I will pin it to the top of the page. For anybody wishing to contribute to DoMoreLife and the channel and what we do here, you are welcome to do so, but not a requirement, as we had a great day yesterday. So I appreciate that very much. Rocco, good morning to you, or good evening. Hello. Glad to see you in the stream, of course. Ross says 40 baht is $1.30. There you go. So you can go to a food court. For example, when I lived in Rayong, I went to a food court very often in the mall there, and I would get a 40 baht plate of rice, and I guess it's baked chicken, or it wasn't fried. It was baked somehow, chicken. I would get that, and I would get that for 40 baht, and if I wanted a larger size, 60 baht. So you're talking about $2 for a full meal. I mean, a full meal that will fill you up. Charles White says street food vendors and stools, 15 to 25 baht for a filling lunch. That is very true. You can get a ton of street food all over Thailand on the cheap. Very, very cheap. Ross says $7, around 200 baht. Jason Lowe says 2,000 Australian dollars is currently 48,000 baht. Well, then you should be good to go, Jason. You can live a life here comfortably, provided you have savings and you already have health insurance. You already have some things set up in place. When I say things, I mean like your fixed cost is low. Then your 48,000 baht a month should be able to get you by without an issue. That's more than most teachers make. That's more than I make as a teacher here in Thailand. So you should be good to go. Crabclaw says about $3 a day, U.S. change. I'm not sure exactly what that statement is implying, Crabclaw. If you could clarify, I would love for you to do that. Jason says, have partner, no bars. 10-4, having a partner and not going out to the bars will save you a lot of money, Jason, for sure. Asia Unscripted said, I lived in a hotel in Onnut for 10,500 baht a month. It had everything but a kitchen. Well, my apartment is 9,000 baht a month, and he lived Onnut is basically that like downtown Bangkok. That's really in the middle of Bangkok. So everything but a kitchen is good. But it had cheap restaurants downstairs. So there you go, guys. It's not that expensive to live here in Bangkok like people think it is. And if you go up north or you go out in the villages or if you're in rural areas of Thailand, it gets even cheaper to live. Ross says steamed chicken. Fair enough. Steamed chicken is what I was eating. The Crabclaw says, I didn't check beforehand. Sorry, what is the main topic of discussion today? The cost of living in Thailand and the cost of all the fun stuff, too. Anon says, for what it's worth, my townhouse in Cham is 7,000 baht per month. That's incredibly good. My electric is always less than 1,000. See, that's where we differ. My electric during this partial furlough has been about between 2,700 and 3,000 baht a month. So around $100 roughly a month because I'm working at home so much. And I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit here in front of the fan and pretend like I'm happy when I got an air conditioning unit right above my head. So unless it comes down to I have to cut the air conditioner off in order to survive financially, I'm going to run the air conditioner. But it's good that you're getting by that cheap. And he says gigabit Ethernet is $12.80 a month. Wow, that's cheap. I don't have gigabit. I have inexpensive internet, much slower, but it's good enough to get by. And it only cost me about 320 baht a month. So for basically 369, about 9-10, roughly $10 a month is my internet. And you guys see it works pretty well, right? Ross says the thing to think about when doing cost to live monthly is directly related to how much you spend up front to be comfortable to your level. Agreed. If you don't understand what that means, what Ross is saying is up front is what, like, your commitments to where you're going to live, how much you're going to spend there, where you're going to live, and the environment around the places that you're going to live in Thailand. That's going to determine a lot of your cost of living. Do you have cheap places where you can buy food? Is there a macro nearby? Macro is like a Costco. It's like a wholesale store, basically, where you get quantity of products at a reasonable price, and you can make them last for a long time. So good point there, Ross. Anon says, had pizza last night, 199 baht, filled us both up. That's awesome. So you're talking about $6 for a pizza that filled up two people. Good cost. Charles says, don't forget to 5x the lunch cost of feeding girlfriend. So skinny, so damn hungry, don't know where to put it. That's very true. Thai women love to eat. They absolutely love to eat, and they eat a lot. I don't know where all these very, very thin Thai women put all this food. I agree, Charles. I agree 100%. Mine eats like crazy, and I don't know where it all goes. But they do. Definitely. Rocco says, I guess it depends on, are you vacationing or living? Yeah, absolutely. This is a cost of living video. If you're vacationing, that's a whole different that's a whole different video, because your vacation budget could vary widely in range and in scope from what you would normally see from people. So your vacation budget may be, I don't know, instead of having in US dollars, instead of living off of 2,000 US dollars a month, you might need 2,000 US dollars for a week here on vacation. So big difference in that. Crabclaw says, I heard the internet speed is awesome. It is. The internet over here is wonderful. There's plenty of companies to choose from: AIS, DTAC, True, and I'm sure there's more. I just can't think of them right off the top of my head. But those three companies are some of the major carriers here. I personally have AIS and True and don't have problems with either one of them. Like I said, my home internet is about 320 baht a month. And I believe that's for 30 megabits up and 30 megabits down and 10 megabits up. So that's per second, of course. 3BB is another service provider. Thank you for mentioning that. Ross says my electric is 5,000 for the house these days. Ross has a fairly large house, so 5,000 baht seems reasonable for him. Again, it depends on the size of your house, the cooling, what you're doing in there, the cooking, and how much electric you're running. Anna says lunch yesterday, hamburger fries for me, Thai food for her, and 5 Leos between us was 420 baht. That's very, very, very inexpensive. And Anon lives in a good place for retirees. It's called Cham, and it's basically between Bangkok and Hua Hin. I've been through there. It's a very nice little town, very peaceful. There's not a lot of nightlife there, but we'll get to that in a second. That's not really a place that you want to go if you want to enjoy nightlife for sure. Hello, Don C. Welcome, sir. Thank you for dropping by. Appreciate it. Asian Scripted said, yeah, the apartment was about 500 meters from the Arnott BTS station, so he could walk to the BTS and then get his public transportation, which reminds me. Public transportation costs here, the BTS is cheap. I don't know the exact rates right now because I haven't ridden the BTS in quite some time. But I do know if you use the Bolt app, as we discussed yesterday, for a taxi, they are really inexpensive. You're going to get a $3 to $5 ride pretty much anywhere you want to go in Bangkok. Maybe a little more than that if you have to go from one side to the other, but for the most part, it's cheap. Then if you get a motorbike taxi, usually you can get those even cheaper. But again, that's if you want to ride on a motorbike in Bangkok. That's entirely up to you. Ralph says you can get self-service with data only, unlimited 10 meg speed for 1,900 baht a year with DTEC. And that's pretty good because I pay for the 4G unlimited AIS plan I have, which also has calling on it. But it's 300 megabits per second, which it never gets that fast, by the way. But it's up to 300 megabits a second. It's fully unlimited data, and I think I get 200 minutes of talk time or something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood, and unlimited. No, not unlimited messaging, but I get some messaging, and that's always a good thing. But it cost me around 1,400 baht, so a month, which is a little over what is 1,000 baht? I'm actually losing my brain here. 1,000 bahts, 300. That's not. Anyway, and then I have a True plan which has unlimited data also, and talk. So I have 2 SIM cards in my Thai cell phone, which cost another 1,100 and something baht per month. So I have to look into some of these specials and see what these guys are getting for yearly plans, because I heard that's the big new thing is to get the yearly plans for sure. But the 1,900 baht a year is, or is that $1,900, Ross? I'm assuming it's 1,900 baht. Great deal on that for sure. Don says Ross, my electric is about 4,500, right there with you. So they understand the high electric bills. It also depends on if you live in a place that gives you the government rate for electricity, or if you get a place that has their own rate for electricity. I recommend living in places that gives you the government rate. Anon says that the reason my electric is good is that we only use AC in the bedroom at night. Otherwise, only fans. I see. Crab Claw, they say Thai girls eat like horses. You know what, man? They can put down some food. They really can. I don't know what. I don't know if it's a cultural thing or if what the deal is, but they can definitely eat a lot. And I see you become a channel member also. Did you do that yesterday or today? But thank you for becoming a channel member, Crab Claw. That's awesome. Robert says, when I'm there, so do I. Yes, and a lot of people, some guys I work with eat so much food, I don't know how they do it. Like, I genuinely don't know how they do it. Lyle says, I'm not going to read that, but that's funny, Lyle. I like that. Don C, my home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, gated community pool and tennis court, 17,000 baht a month, and that is awesome. And his internet's AIS 420 baht a month. So talk about good opportunities and cheap living. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. Crab Claw says, like when you watch them eat, you're like, holy crap. Yep, that's pretty much right on point. Anna says, when we get Thai food and only drink water, no beer, then we only pay about 120 to 180 baht for the both of us, and I'm stuffed. So you're talking for less than $9, you're full, and that really, the cost of food is a big deal over here. So it's really it's cheap, man, for sure. Don't worry, you're not hogging the chat, Crab Claw. It's all good, man. Comment away. Charles White says, food is one thing you must plan for. Thai life revolves around eating. If you only eat a little, people will ask if you're okay. Miss all the dinners with the apartment block. That is so true, Mr. White. That is so true. It does revolve around eating. The first thing that most Thai people will ask you, especially Thai girls, for you guys that are wanting to date Thai girls or that currently have Thai girlfriends, you know that one of their first concerns is, are you hungry? And I think they want you to say yes so they can eat too. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Ross says, I have TOT fiber at the house, 100 up and down, about $20 a month. Cheap internet. Cheap internet. That's one reason we like living in Thailand, is because of the inexpensiveness. I hope that's a word. Inexpensiveness of living here. It is marginally less expensive to live in Thailand than it is to live in the States, especially if you can have some American income coming in, and trade that for Thai baht. Transfer that to Thai baht. What's the word I'm looking for? Convert that to Thai baht. There we go. Thailand Backpacker. He says, I live on 13,000 baht a month. I do things on the cheap. Yes, you do. If you live on 13,000 baht a month, I definitely can't do that, because my health insurance is about, for both policies I have, which covers basically everything with zero deductible, is about 35-ish, 36,000 baht a year. So you're talking about roughly $1,250, $1,300 a year. That covers pretty much everything: doctors, hospitals, emergencies, accidents, all that stuff. And I have that through AIA here in Thailand. So health insurance is a big deal. The cost of it's going to largely depend on your age. And you may or may not be. I'm gonna turn the fan up just a little bit on my air conditioner, guys. If you can hear it too much, just let me know. But the health insurance price is going to depend on your health and your age. Just a FYI and a good heads up there. Don C says, boat to the beach about 4 kilometers is only 56 baht. Crazy cheap. That's true. He's talking about taking a boat car, using the boat app to the beach at 56 baht. So less than $2 for a taxi to get him to the beach 4 kilometers away. That's awesome. Okay, Ross clarified 1,900 baht. Thank you for that. Thai Guy Bryce says, I buy a new Thai SIM card every time so my Thai girlfriend can't find me. That's good. I like that. That's that's an interesting way to do things, Thai Guy Bryce. Charles White says, and yeah, I tripped to 7-Eleven for drinks. Always followed dinner each evening. True. Ross says, we will be solar at the house by Tuesday. Say goodbye to electric bill. Ross has a video on his channel. It's quite a long video. You can go check it out on the installation of the solar panels. I watched some of it. It was very interesting. And I think that is an outstanding idea, Ross, by the way. So good for you, bud. I think investing in that solar was a great idea. And that's for people, again, who live here. Earlier today, U.S. time, Crab Claw says, not sure what that meant, but Don C says, Ross, what will it cost to install? I'm sure Ross will answer. Crab Claw says, how long in Thailand? That's their first question. Are you talking about women? Yep, that is usually their first question because they want to evaluate whether you're here on vacation, whether you know anything about Thailand, whether or not they can fool you, especially if you're in the nightlife situation. So let me hit on the nightlife real quick. If you're going out for a night, let's say you're a single guy and you want to go out for the night. If you want to go out and have a drinking companion, somebody to hang out with for a little while and just chill at the bar with or whatever, you may be looking at spending 1,000 baht, 1,500 baht, something like that. If you want to take your new friend away from the bar and spend some time getting to know each other, that's obviously going to cost a little bit more, and prices could vary. You could be looking at, depending on where you go and what your intentions are, you could be looking at anywhere from 3,000 baht, or 2,000 baht to 10,000 baht, just depending on again, do you need a tour guide service from that? Do you need aerobic training from your drinking companion? But it depends on what your needs are. So always keep that in mind. Plus, it depends on how much alcohol you consume when you go out. Lucky for me, I don't drink, so therefore I don't have to worry about the cost of alcohol. Also, Thailand nightlife doesn't have to be just drinking companions and bars. It could also be entertainment venues, such as going to watch a concert somewhere or going out to eat at a nice restaurant, which there are an abundant supply of everywhere, right? So these are all things to consider. Let's see here. What did I miss? Asian Scripted says, I pay $45 for Xfinity internet here in the States, 50 megabits up and 5 down. Are you sure you don't have that backwards, Asian Scripted? That doesn't sound right. Should be 50 down, 5 up, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. But I like your Xfinity deal. I just saw it on your Facebook page right before the video started. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you hadn't hit the thumbs up button yet, be sure to smash that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Ross says, Don C, 290,000 baht will produce 6,000 baht worth of power. It's a hybrid system. I like that, Ross. Crapclaw says, I love slam tan Thai squirrels. I think in some way most guys that come here would agree with you, Crabclaw. I think they would agree for sure. Let's see. Don says, okay, recoup your investment in 5 years or less. That's fair. Thailand backpacker, I'm in my 20s, so I guess health insurance is cheaper. Yes, it would definitely be cheaper for you, 100%. And you could probably get a policy on like arrival. If you're coming and you want to be here and you want to live, if you're in your 20s or your early 30s and you just want to travel around Thailand and have a home base somewhere, you're going to have to get the correct visa first. But after that, your cost of living will be cheap, especially if you're in good health and that kind of thing. As you guys know, I have medical costs on a monthly basis due to a condition and or the combination of a couple small conditions. Anyway, I have the fixed medical costs. So my medical costs each month cost me around 10,000. This month it cost me 12,000 baht for everything. So that's stuff that I have to consider, and that's it's quite a bit of money. It's around $400. Thank God for alternative streams of income. By the way, I got my first bookings on the new job, just to let you guys know. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I hope that they go well. And I have to spend a lot of time preparing for the classes. It's an online teaching gig, and I have to spend a lot of time preparing for the classes because I'm just not used to these classes yet. I will be, though, for sure. 100%. So I'm excited about that. That's a new venture. And also the other project I'm working on seems to be coming along well. So I'm going to be busy over the next month. And hopefully we'll see Thailand start to reopen sooner rather than later. We're going to get into that towards the end of the video. We're going to try to keep this video around an hour because I have a lot to do today. So we're going to try to keep it around an hour, just to let you guys know. Doesn't mean it'll be an hour. It may wind up being an hour and a half, but we're going to try to keep it around an hour. Rocco says, I haven't yet heard someone mention the budget for fun stuff. That's what I was just talking about. Probably commented that before I said anything. Don C says, Thai backpacker, yes, I'm 62, and it's $1,800 a year for me, still way cheaper than the U.S. 100% agree, Don. 100%. Ross says, JC, you have a great video about questions girls ask and what they mean. Yes, I do. I do have a great video about that, and I cannot remember the title of it right off the top of my head, but I recorded it in when I was staying at your wife's resort. I do remember that. And by the way, the picture at the bottom of this thumbnail is a picture I took of that resort about a year and a half ago, something like that. I don't know. It's been a while, Ross. Maybe it's been longer than that. Almost 2 years ago now. That's a little sample of what the resort that Ross's wife owns looks like. It is absolutely a fantastic place to go. And if you come to Thailand and you're going to be in the Rayong, Koh Samet area, or Bonpei area, you should definitely stay there because you will not be disappointed. It looks like old school Thai bungalows from the outside, but you get inside, it's all high tech, all advanced everything, and it's just a really cool place to stay. Gotta be honest with you, it really is. But yes, I do have a video on that, and my man should look that up. Sorry, Crabclaw, you should look that video up. It's I don't know. We'll find the name of it for you. Somebody will. And you should watch that video because that is a good video. Thailand Backpacker says Don C. Wow, that's crazy expensive. Yikes. He says, yep, getting old is a bitch. It's still a good price, man. It's cheaper than you can find anywhere else for in the West. You can't find insurance like that, health insurance like that in the West. The 212 Roger, good to see you, bud. He says, I'm honest with myself. A night out runs about 3,000 baht for me. There you go. 3,000 baht is about $100. So if you're going to go out and partake in the usual nightlife activities in a place like Pattaya or somewhere in Bangkok like Soy Cowboy or Nana Plaza, or if you're in Phuket and you're going to be at Patong or somewhere anywhere like that, if you're going to take advantage of the nightlife there and the things that you can enjoy, that I would say 3,000 baht would be cheap night out, really, to be totally honest with you, because they can get very you can spend a lot of money on Thailand nightlife very quickly. Ross says movie tickets are less expensive here. $7 to see Star Wars last year, pre C-19. And that's true. Movie tickets are less expensive here in Thailand. And you can get some really interesting seating in the movie theaters, too. In fact, in Central Festival in Pattaya, they have the main theaters. Then off to the side, they have like this VIP theater, and they have the big round chairs that you can get, or round seats that you can get. If you're a couple, you can lay down on or whatever. If you're single and you go there, they have the lounge chairs with covers, and they give you blankets and pillows and tables to set your drinks on. It's absolutely an awesome experience with awesome sound. So theater and movie watching, when all that reopens here in Thailand, it's going to be trust me, go to a movie. You won't be disappointed, I assure you. Gotta love Thailand. It's good to see you, bud. Hello and welcome to the live stream. Thanks for tuning in again. Rocco says 212 Roger sounds about right. That's true. Ross says fun stuff. Most waterfalls are 200 baht. Good point, Ross. Ross and I have been to see a few waterfalls in our day. So if you travel around and you want to see stuff like that, most of the time it's going to cost you a little bit to get into the park or to the fall or to the canyon or to whatever it is you want to see in nature, usually around 200 baht. Between 100 and 400 is what I would say. So 200 baht is a good average, Ross. Very good. Griffin says, I have Xfinity, $90 a month, 200 megabytes down and 12 megabits up. Now that is a good speed. 90 bucks a month is a little expensive, but for that speed, it's pretty good. I'm sure in Thailand it would be cheaper for that speed. In fact, I know it is. But for the States, that's not a bad price. Crab Claw says, I got to ride out my brothers. I'll get with y'all soon, JC. I'll throw you a bigger bone next week. Stay safe. No worries, Crab Claw. Glad you could join us, man. Appreciate you being here. Ross says, for those who drink beer, I will use the Leo scale. A large bottle from 7-Eleven, 65 baht. Most restaurants, 100 baht. And let's see. Bars 120. That's pretty much accurate for those of you that want to drink and wonder how much the beer prices are. There you go. Anon says my kid have Verizon Fios in the U.S. $70 a month, gig up and down. Wow, that's super cheap. But that probably comes with a contract too. I think Xfinity doesn't have a contract. It's like a prepaid thing. Ross says. Popcorn in the movie theaters offer 3 different flavors: regular, cheese, and kettle corn. That is true. 212 Roger says 3,000 baht for Chiang Mai. Oh yeah, going out in Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai nightlife is going to be a little bit cheaper than it would be in a place like Pattaya or Phuket. It depends on the bar you go to and what kind of club it is. Whether it's a open air beer bar, a full fledged go-go, whether it's a hybrid. That's going to determine the prices for everything, right? For the beer, for the entertainment, for whatever you're looking for. That's going to determine the price for that. Crabclaw says 55-year-old Farang, 23-year-old Thai squirrel. Perfect. Yep, and you see a lot of that. You do see a lot of that here in Thailand, and it's a cultural norm. So you don't have to feel like because you're an old guy dating a younger lady that you're going to be ridiculed. I mean, trolls on YouTube will ridicule you, but that's only because they can't do it. There's nothing wrong with a 55-year-old and 23-year-old, in my opinion, especially not in this culture. Every culture is different, but here it shouldn't even be an issue at all. But that does bring up a good point. The age gap difference in dating here, you'll see a wider age gap in Thailand, and it's perfectly normal. Don't let anybody talk you out of not dating someone because of their age. Make sure they're legal, of course, but you like who you like, you love who you love. It is what it is. Life's too short, way too short to worry about what other people think. That's one thing for sure. Let's see. Robert says, Ross and Ryan, did they get rid of my favorite barbecue? Asian Script said, yes, you're right. 50 megabits down, 5 megabits up for $45. That's still not bad, man. The only problem with that is the 5 megabits up. That would really slow down my uploading of YouTube videos. But for $45 a month in the States, that's a good speed. Asia Unscripted, a very good speed. David, good to see you, man. Hello from down under. Anon says we have been looking at property around here, about 3 to 4 million for a villa, 4 to 6 million for a pool villa, 2 to 3 bedroom. Obviously, the 3 bedrooms are more expensive. Yeah, and he's talking about baht, guys. So $1 million baht right now is about what would $1 million baht be? Ross, correct me if I'm wrong. About $35,000. Is that right? Is that right? 35,000, I think. So, I don't know. We'll see if I'm right on that. If I was wrong, I apologize. Math is not my thing. I teach English. Okay. Let's see. Ross says barbecue offered as a season shaker. Interesting. Thailand Backpacker says, why is beer in Thailand so expensive? Unless it's Thai beer, it's very pricey. That's a good point. One question that unfortunately I can't answer because I don't drink. I don't know the whole ins and outs of the pricey beer thing. But I have noticed that the beer here is expensive. So whatever you spend on beer in the States, you're going to spend roughly about the same thing on beer here as well. Import fees, Ross says, Thailand Backpacker. The import fees are what causes the beer to be more expensive, which does make sense. Anytime you import something here, the tax on it is going to be outrageous most of the time. I can testify to this because I've had dietary supplements come in before, and after paying for the dietary supplements, I still had to pay 2,100 baht for the tax and the delivery. So you're talking about a little over $60, after you've already paid for whatever it is that you ordered from another country. So that's why we use Lazada most of the time, because we don't have to pay those import fees, or it's already included in the price for the most part if you want to order stuff online. Let's see. Robert says they had it with the others at Terminal 21 Bangkok. Hope it's still there. Barbecue is very good here, so I hope it's still there too, Robert. Anon says Thailand Backpacker, I think because Thai brewers have a oligopoly, Singhai and Chang, they control the market. All imports to Thailand are heavily duty. That's very true. Charles says import beers have a tax that causes the price to be higher. Personally, I like Leo. Cool. Asia Unscripted says it's prepaid, no contracts, no deposit, no credit check. I like that. Then it's probably worth the extra bottom month. Ross says $30,300 equals 1 million baht. So when Anon was talking about buying a place, he's talking about 3 million baht being $90,697.86 per Google. So when you hear 3 million baht, he's thinking about buying a place. You think, gosh, that's got to be expensive. You're talking about $90,000 for probably somewhere near a beachfront or something that's really, really, really nice. I would imagine. Anna says, Charles White, I wish Bailao was more available. Love that beer. Ross says, Charles Leo is the most popular beer among expats. I would agree with that. I see a lot of expats drinking that. Bangkok Warrior, good to see you, man. He says, yeah, it's normal here, but what, with that kind of age difference, what do you talk about? Remember, you're with a kid compared to an older man. Stick to your own age. You can't go wrong. That's your opinion, and that's subjective. And, I'm 40. My girlfriend is 29. We talk about life. We talk about everything. There's nothing when it comes to what do you talk about. That's a kind of a straw man argument, in my opinion. I don't like that argument because there's plenty to talk about. There's plenty to learn from each other. You think about it. You got a person that's had a lot of life experience and a person that's not had a lot of life experience, but yet they're attracted to each other. And because of their attraction, and hopefully they trust each other, they can talk about everything. The younger person can learn from the older person's wisdom. The older person's wisdom can learn from the younger person's talents, or their lifestyle. For example, if I move here to Thailand and wanted to date a younger girl, perhaps in her early 20s, and she's from the village, like a village, right? Way out in the village. I don't know anything about village life. Nothing about village life. She can teach me all about village life. Perhaps she doesn't speak good English. We speak just a little bit, enough to get by. Guess who's going to teach her English? Me. So there's a lot of things, and that's just a basic concept. That people can get by on. Sticking to your own age, that if that's your choice, 100% go for it. If that's what you like to do, more power to you. But one of the advantages of being in Thailand is it's not. I'm not encouraging people to date people younger than, massively younger than them. But some people do and have very successful relationships. And that's all over the world, not just here in Thailand. Let's see. JX says, do you see older Thai men with younger Thai women every day? Bangkok Warrior says, more to relate to when you're closer to age. That can be true, and it can also not be true. If you have two completely different lifestyles and you're the same age, it doesn't matter. And there's that. Bangkok Warrior says, yes, I've seen older Thai men with younger Thai women. That doesn't make it right. Well, it doesn't make it wrong either. Ross says, I'm 54. My wife is 44. We've been together 19 years. There you go, Ross. Thailand Backpacker says, I think 15 plus age gaps can be awkward when around her friends and family. The less age gap, the better your odds are. Fair enough. I just personally don't put a tag on it. I don't put a limit on the age difference in people because I know it's rare, but I know people that have 20 plus years age gap, and they have some of the happiest times in the world because you got an older man that would be likely run down all the time, partially depressed, but he's got a younger. When I say younger, of course I'm talking about a legal adult lady, and but maybe 20 years younger than him, who's full of energy that keeps him motivated, excited about life. And to me, I think that's awesome. Unreal says, I wanted to travel through Southeast Asia to find a place to retire in 3 years. I have 120K USD in the bank and $1,100 a month coming when I stop working. This enough, or should I wait a few more years? Just to be safe, I would wait a few more years. But at the same time, time is the one currency you can never ever get back. So if you are prepared and you have a strong pragmatic plan in place, Unreal, I would encourage you to do whatever makes you happiest, because life is about being happy. That's what I've learned. It's about being happy. Bangkok Warrior says, I understand it's my opinion, however, I'm talking from experience. Yeah, so am I. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with speaking your experience on here. That's what the channel's for. Anon says, Bangkok Warrior, I'm 59, girlfriend is 48, no worries with age difference. Now, if I was 59 and wanted to date a 21-year-old, then I would always question her motives, my Western bias, though. Fair enough. Bangkok Warrior says, I had a younger Thai wife with a big age difference. Didn't work. I'm sorry to hear that. He says 15-year gap is not what I am talking about. I'm talking about 30 years or more. Well, 30 years or more obviously is going to be that's in a league of its own kind of thing. That's stretching it out a little bit, even for the best of us. Yeah, I would. I could foresee where 30 years or more would be problematic. Charles says, Bangkok Warrior, remember Western young women and Thai young women are polar opposites on what they talk about and how they treat significant others regardless of age. That is a very good point, Charles White. Very good point. Simply in the cultural differences. You're right. You are correct. Anon, enjoy your day and send us pictures of your trip. Take care, bud. Unreal says, thanks, you are more than welcome. Lyle says, 17 up, 9 down, troll power strong today. That's awesome. At least they're watching. It's so nice to live in people's heads. Bangkok Warrior says, well said. Thank you very much, sir. And I appreciate the dialogue, by the way. Very much appreciate the dialogue that you've given in this chat here. So let me see what I've covered in the description, and then let me see what oops, I'm telling you, this phone's just, I got to get a new phone. I have to get a new phone. Gym memberships. Gym memberships are super cheap here. If you want to go to the gym, it's not going to cost you much money to get a basic gym membership. And depending on where you live, you're likely to have a gym and swimming pool or some type of fitness area in the condo that you're living in. So you don't have to pay any extra for it. If you want a gym membership, then, you could look at paying anywhere from $8,000 to $18,000 a month. It just depends on how fancy you want the gym to be. And you can get gym memberships cheaper than that also. Let's see. 2112 Roger says, I fathered the son at 50 and the mom was 30. The boy is now 8 in Chiang Mai. Good for you, Roger. That's an awesome story, man. It gives people like me hope, because I am 40 and still don't have any kids yet. Ross says, our last president has a 24-year difference to his third wife, so it happens in the West too. That's true. That's true. Filtho says, wow, not even an hour late and you started without me. That's all right, Filthos. Don't worry. Most of the stuff we went over, I'm sure you're aware of already. Bangkok Warrior says, try talking to a 21-year old girl and see what they talk about. Same as the state, subjects completely irrelevant to your world, older age. I disagree. I disagree on the principle of the fact that while they may have similarities in their conversation and the context of their conversation, in the end, it's going to be different. Yes, they're going to talk about Facebook, Instagram, boys, going out, that kind of thing. Who's been with who and all that stuff. Yeah, that's going to have that's going to be brought up in the conversation. However, I do not think that the overall context of the conversation is going to be the same as a Western girl that's 21 years old. It depends entirely upon their lifestyle. Where is the 21-year-old in America going to college? Is a 21-year-old in Thailand going to college? What are they, what are their plans for the future? What do they want to be in life? Does one want to be an entrepreneur? Does one want to work a job the rest of their life? Does one want to be a gamer? Does one want to be a crypto investor? You don't know. You don't know the context of that 21-year-old's life, and therefore you can't just judge it by saying she's 21. I don't like putting people in bubbles just because of their age, race, religion, sexual orientation, or anything else. And to me, that's a bubble. Charles says, I didn't have children until 30. That's pretty good, though, I guess. Yes, Phil, Lyle, Philthos is on time. Charles says, tends to be more mature conversation about similar topics. Tends to be. And again, I'm not advocating for dating younger women. I'm just saying it's a cultural norm here. That was my whole point. There's no advocation on you should come to Thailand and expect to date younger women. Like that's not my thing. I'm just saying that it happens. It happens here. So motorbike. I ran a motorbike. That way I'm not tied down to anything. Hey Robert V, good to see you, bud. And that motorbike rental cost me well over $100 a month, about $150 a month to rent the motorbike I rent. You can get motorbike rentals cheaper than that, but to me, it's worth having in case I need to go somewhere, and in case I absolutely just need to get somewhere that I haven't been before. JX says most guys just nod their heads when women are talking anyways. Conversation is not important, just stress-free life. I love that. Bangkok Warrior says, of course I'm not putting all 21-year-old girls in the same box. If that 21-year-old girl is a mature, intelligent girl, then yes, you have subjects to relate to. There you go. Fair enough. We talked about internet connections. We talked about some public transportation. Public transportation is definitely going to be cheaper over here than it is in the West. I haven't seen Uber over here, so I don't think Uber's a thing, but Grab, Bolt, and you can get private taxis, private van services, all these things. You can certainly achieve with a smaller amount of money, for sure. Charles White says, I advocate finding cute young ladies to take care of you in your old age. Joking, girlfriend won't let me. I like that. Very good. Philtho says, Bangkok Warrior, I've been polyamorous at different times of my life. My happiest was my quad, living with my 50, 35, and 26-year-old girlfriends. Help stay connected to multiple stages of life. That's a very interesting lifestyle. Again, to each his own. I don't think I could do that, but that's just because I don't think I could keep up with everybody. We talked about, let's see here, the nightlife and the entertainment, the fun stuff. Don't forget, plane tickets here are cheaper. You can fly pretty much anywhere domestically when the country is operating as normal. You can fly pretty much $60 to $90 anywhere in the country. Usually cheaper than that. And you can get international flights around Southeast Asia for less than $150, $200 round trip for the most part. Robert Ann says, hit the like button. Yes, thumbs up are much appreciated. I agree. JJ says, at Thailand backpacker in your 20s, of course, you think a 15-year age gap is a lot. LOL, that would be illegal for you. But when you are 40, do you think you will automatically stop liking your 22-year-olds? Not. That's a pretty good point, JJ. I like that. Charles says, King Filters. Funny. That's a good one right there. So, ultimately, I just want to say on a US dollar conversion, if you have savings, if you have health insurance, if you are in good health, if you Have a plan B for everything. Between $2,000 and $2,500 a month will get you a good, decent lifestyle pretty much anywhere in Thailand. If you go to the villages or to Isan region, you'll get an even better lifestyle with that money. I mean, you'll have more free cash flow. But I always tell people to aim for $3,000 a month. If you can make $3,000 a month, $3,000 a month, you can live here very comfortably and really enjoy life. Again, provided you have savings, maybe some investments, that kind of thing that you could always fall back on. But I think $3,000 a month would be the target goal. I think that you could live here comfortably on as little as $2,000 a month, because I live here on less, most months, less than $2,000 a month. So, live an example. That's all I can say. Pampon, good morning, Pampon. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Everybody saying hello to Pampon. I'm glad you're here, for sure. I hope that covered the cost of living, guys. Bangkok Warrior says, I guess what I'm saying, if the relationship works for you and you are happy, then yes, age doesn't matter, as long as age doesn't matter also with the girl. Exactly. That's my whole stance on it, Bangkok Warrior, and I agree with your statement 100%. And yes, there's always that I don't want to call it an argument to be made, but there's always that point to be made about the age gap. I mean, you made some great points. I mean, don't get me wrong. The things that you said are 100% accurate in some cases, just not in all. And I think you summed it up very well right there with your last message. So, yeah, I agree. So let's talk about what's going on in Thailand right now as a travel and tourism update. Charles White says he has a basic $2,000 over that as a bonus. I agree. $2,000 a month should get you a good life here in Bangkok. I'm not in Thailand. So the COVID update today: 18,027 new infections. Let me open this article because there's some registrations opening up. Yeah, I know, right, Lyle? He's the perfect person to talk to about age differences, because he dates younger women, and he has an excellent relationship with his current girlfriend, and she's much younger than him. But it's all they really have a good relationship. Today, and not that I know Rike on a super personal level or anything. I'm just saying you can look at her videos and his videos and look at them together and just tell that they have a good relationship. Today, the Public Health Department has announced an additional 18,027 infections and 133 COVID-related deaths from the past 24 hours. 13,402 patients have been released from hospital. That's good. That's a good recovery rate. Yesterday, there were 18,900 new infections announced, a record high. Thai provincial totals for Sunday will be published later. Bullet points. Well, let me read Bangkok Warriors post real quick. I have known men or women with PhDs married to high school dropouts, and it works. The chemistry works. Yep. Sometimes the opposites attract, and sometimes the chemistry is just there. It's just there, and it won't go away. So yeah, that's a very fair point, Bangkok Warrior. There will be an announcement this afternoon, which we predict will extend the current restrictions and curfews in all dark red zones. The details will be announced through thetiger.com at that time, so you can expect these restrictions that we have, which we really just, in my humble opinion, don't need. It just the number of cases are what they are. I think I feel like the focus should be more on the number of recoveries and the number of fatalities. Like, let's not have people pass away from this. Whether that means making sure everybody gets jabbed, or making sure everybody takes better care of themselves, or making sure people do different things, whatever the case may be. The high case numbers, they are what they are. This is a thing that we're going to have to live with. We just are. It's here. It's going to stay. I don't think it's possible to eradicate it with a jab that cannot guarantee that you can't get it. So, it is. I'm neither pro nor against. I've had one jab already. I plan on getting the second one. Just full disclosure. It is what it is, and it's everybody's decision. Charles says, not to be depressing, but my office is implementing the mask again. I'm in Texas, FYI. That's strange for Texas to implement a mask mandate. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Charles. I really am. Griffin says, yes, loud. Good thing we got shots. That's true. Good thing. Registration for the first dose of government-free rollout of the jab for foreign residents for all age groups in all provinces starts Monday, August 1st, which is tomorrow here at 11 a.m. So go to expatvac.consular.go.th. I'll put it up on the screen. See the website in blue right there? Right there. Go to that website. Good luck with that, and please report your success in registering, because it likely won't be open for long. And it is what it is. When I got registered for mine, it wasn't open for long at all. Phuket officials are insisting that the situation remains under control. That's highlighted. Remains under control, even as the number of daily cases continue to exceed 35. And the latest measures will help prevent the arrival of C-19 from other provinces. Only 30 cases have been identified from international arrivals since the sandbox scheme started. That's not bad. The Phuket governor says the latest prevention efforts are crucial to ensuring continuity of the Phuket sandbox tourism scheme. So they've turned it in literally to a foreign tourism only, basically, is what they've done. Okay, Ross, I can do that. If I forget, message me. Charles says, not a state thing, just the firm president. What? Oh, gotcha. Understand. The measures are part of a new campaign called Save Phuket Sandbox, Save Thailand. So basically, they're saying if they don't save the Phuket Sandbox, they can't save Thailand. I don't know. It's just what it says in the news. It says Save Phuket Sandbox, Save Thailand. Effective curbs will play a key role in Phuket's efforts to speed up salvaging its tourism-dependent economy. As of Thursday, 12,599 passengers arrived in the province through international airports since the start of the sandbox on July 1st. So in 1 month, they've had about 12,500 passengers arrive. Around half of those on arrivals are considered tourists, with the other 50% made up of Thai arrivals, about 1,853, and former expats and travelers wishing to return via the sandbox option to get back to family and businesses or other parts of the country. That's an important statistic, because now that means that really out of foreign tourism, you only had about 6,250 people roughly that came into the sandbox. So put that in perspective. Yeah, that's a boost for Phuket, but that's a drop in the bucket, guys. It really is. Thailand's got to reopen. They have to reopen. I don't know what they're going to do to make it happen, but they have to reopen. They're going to have to at some point. It's just, it has to happen. The BMA, which is the Bangkok Metropolitan Association, has begun a vaccination program for Buddhist monks, funeral directors, and other temple workers who handle bodies of the victims. Bangkok Governor, I'm not going to call his name because I can't pronounce it, says temples in 14 districts have been included in the vaccination program so far. The BMA is now aiming to have all monks and workers at the 221 temples in the city vaccinated as the demand for cremation services surges at this time. That's unfortunate. Do not be scared, guys. That is not scary information. That is just the reality of the situation here in Thailand. And it is not in any way fake news. This is directly from MBT FRB. The office has ordered temples to provide a proper cremation service even as temples struggle to cope with the growing demand. So, that was one piece of news for today. August flight plans. Bangkok Airways, Nok Air, and Thailand have appear to all have canceled their flights. Domestic flights, that is. Unless you're, I believe only the international flights into Phuket will be allowed. I'm not going to go into that 100%. News site for, this was 19 hours ago. Let me read this. It says, news site for foreigner vaccine, Moreprom deletes appointments. In life, as in vaccine registration process, if at first you don't succeed, try a few dozen more times. Following on the myriad plans to register people, local and foreigners, for vaccines, many of which started and ended within days and suffered data leaks, site crashes, glitches, and near constant confusion, a new vaccine site is launching in the morning, and that's the same one. You can see the expat. I think that's it. Yeah, expat vax. That one. It is set to go live at 11 a.m. the first of the month and serve as a C-19 vaccine registration website for foreigners in Thailand. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced the new vaccine registration site and said that on August 1st at 11 a.m. it will go live and allow foreigners to register for a vaccine appointment. The website was developed in association with the Ministry of Public Health, the Department of Disease Control, and various other consular affairs departments. Officials say the details that many foreigners, especially those in high-risk groups that had registered on the short-lived Thailand Intervac website, will be transferred over to this new site as well, but the expatvac.consular.go.th will be open to all expats who reside in Thailand and are over the age of 18. Unlike other programs that said open to all, but only registered appointments in Bangkok, this site is said to include vaccine appointments in all provinces. And then they go into some concern about the fact that, they've had so many problems in the past. Let me send Ross this link real quick before he has. I don't want him spazzing out. And in fact, I will paste it right now in the channel members only live group so that everyone has access to this article, which includes the link to that site. Now, hey Roy, good to see you. Let's see. Roy says, some good news. Over 480,000 people were jabbed yesterday, the most in one day, according to Richard Barry. Yeah, I saw that. I saw his post, and that's real good. The more people that are jabbed, the better, in my opinion. Roy says, yeah, Bangkok Post has the news also on the site. Good. Lyle, 25 up, 3 down. I love it. 13 down. 13 down. That's awesome, man. It's so nice to live. It's so nice to live rent-free in people's heads. I just love it. I love it. What do we have here? Okay, so we talked about a few things, but I did want to read 40,000 cases a day. This is highlighted, a headline in the Tiger. It says 40,000 cases a day could happen by September, says projection. So, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. We're going to live through it. We're going to get through it, and we're going to be better for it in the end. What's up? Live my ass off. He says, hey, Rocker, just swinging by. Hope your Sunday is epic. Peace. Thank you, man. Good to see you. And Appreciate you stopping by. The PM has vowed not to resign, just to let you guys know. The Bangkok train market possibly to close for good, and it likely will. That's another story that's a whole video in and of itself. You guys can talk about that. We just talked about the infections in the Phuket sandbox model and how they're going to continue to press forward anyway. We don't know what's going to happen with the reopening. As you all know, Thailand announced it would reopen fully by October 1st. Whether that happens or not is yet to be seen. We certainly hope so. If things continue to progress in a positive direction, then I don't see any reason why we couldn't hit it. That's 2 months. It's a long time. Just think about what's happened since June 1st, and today's August 1st here in Thailand. So think about what we've had over the last 2 months and how much things have changed. And let's think about all the positive things that could happen in the next 2 months. Getting these high numbers we're seeing, as you mentioned, Roy, Richard Barrow keeps a post on how many people, or keeps tabs on how many people are being vaccinated each day. In the past, we've seen that, hundreds of thousands during Monday through Friday go down to the tens of thousands on the weekends. Well, now we're seeing record numbers on the weekends. So it obviously says that Thailand is getting more jabs in, which is a great thing. And it also says that more people are trying to get the jab, which is also a good thing if you believe in the jab. Okay. And right now, I personally don't see any other way of Thailand coming out of this other than to get everybody jabbed up as quick as possible. My hope is that Thailand doesn't continue to just focus on the case numbers, that they focus on how well the jabs improve the health of a person that has it, right? Because you're much, according to the science that we read, you're less likely to have severe symptoms or experience any kind of fatality. You're less likely for that if you've had the jab, and you're also less likely to get it. So that's a good thing. Thailand Backpacker says, hope they get everyone jabbed ASAP. Many people hope that, and many people don't want to get jabbed, and I respect everyone's decision to do what they want. It's their body, but also if you choose whatever route you choose, just try to think of protecting yourself and protecting those around you. That's all I can say. Bangkok Warrior says, let's keep our fingers crossed that indeed we reopen in 2 months as long as the numbers go down. That definitely, my fingers are definitely crossed. Roy Gold says, apparently 2.5 million got sick with the Spanish flu of 1918 and 80,000 died. It ended by people's natural immunity building up. A version of it is still with us. That's something I've heard before. Roy. Philtho says channel membership is still available as a service to trolls. Stay up to date on where JC's travels will take him, our plans for the channel, and so much more at $2.99. It's an amazing value. Yes, it is. And you can become a channel member by hitting the join button below. It's some extra content, some live streamings, a few things extra that goes on. And now with this line group, we're seeing a lot of productivity. So I think that the channel is doing well. I appreciate you guys from yesterday. Again, I just want to say thank you for all the contributions yesterday. Very, 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 very happy about that. Hey, Fabe, been a long time, man. I hope you're doing well. But thank you guys for an awesome live stream today. Thank you for the dialogue, especially Bangkok Warrior. Appreciate the dialogue there. Love having healthy dialogue with you guys. That's what the channel's all about. That's just way too subjective, and YouTube won't let me keep that up there. Bangkok Warrior, sorry. There's the link for the channel membership. Robert's put up there in case you guys are interested in becoming a DoMoreLife channel member, and you can see all the perks that you get. Plus, I have not added it onto the channel membership page, but you also will receive access to the line group so long as you add me as a friend online, the line application, and you are a channel member, I will invite you into our group and you can hang out with us. It's pretty cool over there. So, that being said, hit the thumbs up button on your way out, guys. I very much appreciate the live stream today. Got a lot to do, a lot to learn. Got a new job starting this week, a new part-time job starting this week. I'm going to be really focused on that, trying to make sure I do a good job so I can continue to get bookings. And hope that everything goes well with that. So, with that being said, love you guys, mean it, and I will see you on a video sometime this week, or it could be that this week is so busy that I will not see you again until next weekend, which is a possibility. And if that happens, my apologies. I'll try to get out at least a short of some kind, YouTube short. Philto says, by the way, guys, if you haven't checked out the line group yet, you should. Some kind of critical mass is being hit there. I like that, Philtos. Lyle says, I saw my t-shirt in the thumbnail. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I have an idea on that t-shirt, too, by the way, Lyle. Charles says, good luck on the new work, bud. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And good luck to you. And some of the suggestions that we talked about yesterday. I hope everything works out. Thank you, Bangkok Warrior. I appreciate the well wishes there. And again, thank you for the dialogue. I appreciate that very much. Bob, take care. And thank you to anybody who contributed after the live stream yesterday, which we had one contribution come in. And if anybody contributes after this live stream today, thank you for that. I want to thank my moderators for always doing a great job, making sure we keep a nice, clean chat. Hey, Alan, long time, man. Catch the replay of this video. You might find it interesting. But long-time channel member Alan in the house. Good to see you, bud. I'm doing well. I certainly hope you are. So thanks to the moderators. Thanks to all my channel members. Really appreciate you guys being here. Hope you're enjoying being a channel member. And I will see you on the next one. Whatever you do today, be sure, guys, you do more life.